and running. Actually, I gotta check the stream and make sure. Just make sure it's really going. Okay, we are good. All right, so what are we doing here, boys? We are T-minus, what do we have, 20 hours, 21 hours to kick off tomorrow, give or take. So we are smack dab in the final run-up to the start of the 2023 season. So with the RLD Fantasy channel in its early days, thought we might want to start to get some videos on the channel talking about the lore that we just keep talking about all the time here and there in clips and phrases on the Discord and I'm sure in direct messages and all over the place. Some actual video to reference back to down the line if you're ever curious, talking about kind of the origin story here. So RLD.
No, not that. Gibbs, sorry.
The cleaned up, yeah, the trade. Maybe that'll be its own separate episode, a VIP episode of sorts. So, and Ben, Creep, feel free to interject if I'm misrepresenting the facts. But so the RLD, which is now RLD Fantasy, the RLD is the Roto Chatter League of Death. So it is, as Ben is showing us right now, it is a league that is filled with a particular set of fantasy sicko personalities that have been trading paint and skinning each other's elbows verbally for some time now. And while the league is only 2 years old, there's a lot more backstory and history with its members than just 1 year of fantasy football. So the RLD rose out of the still living but almost never used, never frequented Rotoballer Discord server, and that was only really for last year. And prior to that, Ben, maybe you can help me kind of describe what the Rotoballer website web chat was like and what it was for us prior to 2022.
Well, the website looks exactly the same as it does now, so
Yep.
you can just go to it and see the exact same thing.
We didn't show that.
I don't even know. I think the web chat's gone, but it was really, really gamey, like turn of the century, like HTML web chat, and it was a piece of junk. It worked about half the time. You had to log in about 4 times a night.
And as Pac is saying, Wild West chat rooms. Yeah, I also got the sense that, especially for the first several years, because, I mean, the long-timers were in there for, like, almost 10 years, right? Creep just said
that's true.
He first started coming around in, like, 2013.
I'd say, like,
any moderation at all? I can't ever remember seeing an instance of moderation in there.
They did have some sort of profanity trigger for the last couple of years, and that was when I actually came on the scene, so I wasn't even there prior to that. But it sounded like, for a long time, it was a real bottomless gaze into the worst impulses humanity can conjure on the internet. I think that sounds fair.
Yeah, back pre-2020, there were multiple koalas in there, and they hated each other. There were long-standing feuds. It was.
We never say that name on this channel. We have rules. We have one rule. One rule. You say that name 3 times, and he DMs you and asks you to evaluate his fantasy team on Discord. So RLD comes from the Rotoballer web chat of yesteryear, and there were a lot of personalities there, but kind of the core ones, the big ones that we have been able to keep and have traveled with us. We've all traveled together to the Rotoballer Discord server briefly, and then once we realized this sucks, now arrive here where we're kind of doing our own thing, running our own show. Obviously, Boards is, if he's not one of the longest tenured, if he's not the longest tenured, web chat guy, he was up there. Pac Fan, our defending champ from year 1 in the actual RLD league that sprang from all of this. Another golf clap for you, Pac. Nicely done, you son of a bitch. Benben, of course, the Ben father. Bok Choy, Although I actually don't remember what Bok Choi's handle was over there. I know he's told me. I keep forgetting it.
It was MF Doom something, because we were both Doom.
That sounds right. MF Doom. That's right. And that's the voice of Creeping Doom, who famously was the Clubber Lang to Koala's Rocky for a stretch last year before Koala decided to part ways with us. Who else have we got?
That's two times that you said it, Luke. Say one more time, we're going to hear your DMs chime.
He's gonna message me. What do you mean you don't think Daniel Jones is a good quarterback in one quarterback? You stupid motherfucker.
Yeah.
So
we should just do Koala. Probably come up with it.
Background noise. So we've got those guys. We've got Quick is not here. Delhomme, I see. Delhomme has more rings. He's in the audience. We'll definitely be talking about his performance in the first year of the RLD at some point tonight for sure. So a lot of the guys that, if you're a Fantasy Index Discord server regular, you've seen names like Boards and Benben and Pack and Quicksilver and Bok Choy, Creeping Doom, T-Pats. Obviously, T-Pats is one of our main guys, big time, and some moron named Chode Jeans. A couple other guys that aren't in there as much, Niners, Chai Bear. But yeah, so we're this merry band of fantasy minstrels. And so finally, after years of talking about it and squawking about it, and some other leagues that I think just kind of petered out, we decided to start our own league for the Roto faithful before any of this came about, before we got our nerve up to do anything like this. So that brings us to now, where 2022 is just an absolute slobber knocker of an inaugural year in the league, like wire to wire. It's not wire to wire. So 11 of the 12 teams are just grinding each other down to a nub for basically 14 weeks, except for the one team that auto drafted in the first year of the RLD for good reason. He had an absolutely legitimate reason to not be present. Quicksilver auto drafts, gets Mahomes, Amari Cooper, DK Metcalf, I think like Antonio Gibson, some other guys. Some guys that we all were kind of low on, but because we were all low on them, he got great, absurd value on them. He had Aaron Rodgers as his backup. He had absurd value on all those guys. He wound up just lapping the field. He went like 11-3, I'm pretty sure. And in year one of the RLD, 11-3. I mean, you had the first seed locked up by like week 11, because we went into week 14 with, of the other 11 teams in this 12-team league, 9 of them were still alive for a playoff spot. Yeah, we had 16 to make the playoffs, but still 9 went into week 14 still alive for a playoff spot. It was crazy. The number 2 seed, me, it was still possible I was going to get mathematically eliminated in week 14. So just unbelievably tight. And one of our long timers who is no longer with us, Gore, he and T-Pats played in the first round. TP destroyed him, blew him off the face of the earth, scored like 170 points on him. Pack managed to take down Chai Bear, and then I played Pack in the divisional round. He famously just barely beats me. Quicksilver destroys T-Pats in the divisional. And then the Monday Night Football cancellation game, Bills at Bengals, it almost winds up costing Pack the championship, but he manages to hold on and win by, like, I think less than a point. Yeah, he wins by 0.6 of a point against Quicksilver. But again, like, one wrong lineup setting, along with, losing. He had Gabe Davis going in that game. He had some other player. It wasn't Tyler Boyd. Whatever. He had a couple players going in that game. Almost killed him. But yeah, so it was crazy. The league chat was unlike any fantasy league chat you'd ever seen before. It was wild. And now we're back for year 2. So that brings us current to now. So let's talk about, Ben, if you wouldn't mind steering us back to 2023. Now that you've only been in the 2022 league year for 5 seconds. Steer us back to 2023 so we can see who gets who in week 1, and start to talk a little bit of trash. Ben, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Let me switch.
Damn, you're really showing a personal DM there. Fuck.
Who, me?
Whoever that was. I don't know who I was talking about, but someone set me off. And that's what I don't remember what that was.
Hey.
Sorry, man. I wasn't even looking at what it said in the league chat.
It was RLD. Everybody was
That's
saying
just
some
the
real
RLD
messed up
league
stuff
chat.
that year.
I just randomly.
I thought I got rid of that chat.
Well, that's just how Sleeper works. It like logs the league years or instances,
okay.
and the league chats are too. So.
Okay, I was definitely going off on Gore.
Was it showing the league chat from last year? Oh my god! Sorry, I didn't even look.
No. I was going off on Gore. I was like, who was I going off on? That was definitely about Gore.
Well, I don't think you need to feel bad about anything that happened like 18 months ago.
Gore went to a rough place multiple times. Hope he's doing well. Wish him all the love in the world. Love you, Gore. Wherever
He's
you are, you're probably keto and logging your macronutrients right now in total bliss.
He's probably asleep.
It was a weird time, man.
It was Damar. It was a weird time.
Yeah, that's what it was. Okay.
That was one thing.
Yeah.
That was one thing that it was for sure.
Yeah, he kept making jokes about it. That pissed me off.
It was a little.
Oh yeah, about the guy who died for a minute on the field. I forgot about that. Yeah. I think I was actually on his side in that argument, Boris.
You were. Yeah. In hindsight, I overreacted, but at the moment, man, I was like, man, this motherfucker. It was a culmination of things.
Well,
it's one thing. The way he was doing it was like sort of crass. I was more like saying, don't let why are we manufacturing this like national incident over this thing that we all sort of knew could have happened at any given time? I was just more. I thought that was just such a weird phenomenon for there to be like everybody's wearing bracelets and crap for this guy who got hurt in the NFL.
For sure. I agree. That was overboard, but
yeah,
it was thousands of people die a year worldwide.
No, for sure.
I'm pretty sure it's more than thousands.
I'm not sure it's thousands. I think it's more like hundreds.
I think it's millions.
A couple dozen people die every year.
Of all sorts of reasons. Murder,
that phenomenon.
pooping. Yeah.
Anyway,
all right.
We can talk about how good my team is this year.
Let's look at we'll go from the bottom to the top on my board here, so that I don't have to start with my game. The first one is
you guys
Niners
take the
versus Schreiber. 51-49% projected split. So that is
for the perhaps not fully initiated, we are looking at on the left 49ers Empire from the Discord server and Schreiber. So in 2022, Niners had a hell of a time. He took I think ETN very early. He took Chase like in the top 3. He had Keenan Allen, so I mean he just really got kicked in the teeth hard. He took AJ Dillon. He got kicked in the teeth every which way. So rough first year for Niners. Although he almost won the consolation bracket. He took boards to the wire in the consolation bracket. Almost won the thing. And Schreiber had Tyreek Hill and got into the playoffs at the last second on just a crazy conflagration of like tiebreakers and points scored and all that kind of crap. Only for Pack to turn around and knock him out in the first round. But at least he made the show.
Well, there's some controversial cast members in this game for sure. Javonte Williams right there. What do you guys think about Javonte? Is he a start this week?
It's going to be a 50-50 split, maybe. So, yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, he's a flex. I don't know about anything in an RB slot.
No, we know P. Ryan is a pass catcher. Not that he can't run, but he's a pass catching specialist back. And are they really just going to have Javonte pounding it into the line over and over again? How can this guy just be fine? I'm so confused.
It's no way.
No, they're gonna go 50-50 at least or something around there. They're gonna keep him healthy.
All right, Pat, give us an over/under for Jaleel McLaughlin touches, Luke.
5.5, and I'll take the over.
Ooh, I'll go with the under.
Damn.
Fair. No, not Javonte. Jaleel, he's saying. But
Jaleel.
Jaleel might be noise. He might be nobody. the noise is too loud for me to ignore. I think he's going to be on the field.
Who was it that snapped him up in like every single league this week? Was that you, Creep?
What happened?
Somebody was running around in all our leagues snapping up McLaughlin this week. I think
Not
one
me.
guy ended up with all but one share.
Nope, not me.
The stage's
All right,
chat
so-
is hopping more than the stream.
Okay, so what about Dobbins? I like Dobbins. I'm ready to go. Week 1. Anybody out on Dobbins?
I like
No,
him. I mean,
crickets.
yeah, I like him. We know he has the talent. It's a top 3 offensive line. The Ravens aren't going to suddenly be, the greatest show on turf. That's Lamar. I'm of the opinion that Lamar maybe can't stand up to more passing volume. It's possible. I certainly don't think like he's going to suddenly be Geno Smith and completing like almost 70% of his passes. His completion percentage has been trending down year after year for 3 years. Yes, he has the best receivers of his career. It just doesn't pass muster to me. I could be wrong, but I think the Ravens are going to run more than even they think.
Oh, even the Ravens, cutting back their running, what are they going to cut it back 45%? They run a ton.
Right, and
But
that's diluted by Lamar.
Well, plus on this roster, he's definitely a start. Obviously, since this is one of our leagues, this is actually the template league. The rosters are deep as hell. Shy Bear's got DJ Moore. I think we've all contorted ourselves into thinking he's a wide receiver 1, even though Fields can't hit the broadside of a barn, according to consensus. Down here at the bottom, Lazard.
Man, I just can't get on board with it. I know, I understand the argument, but especially this now the RLD was full PPR year 1. Now we're half. Just really takes the juice out of it for me, what little there was.
Yeah, and this is and Schreiber, according to Fantasy Pros, came out of this like way heads above everybody else in terms of the draft rankings.
Yeah.
But this is projected to be like slightly less than a point, so a little bit over 1.5 difference. I think all my leagues of projections are so close. If you're projected to win by 4, then I'm pretty sure it's going to be a complete blowout. Let's look at Delhomme and Boards. Oof, that's a tough matchup.
But
Projection is right on top of each other, barely 3/4 of a point separated in projection.
Yeah, I think that's partially because Dell just drafts old dudes. Dell and Cheecham go veteran heavy, just as a philosophy, and vets they get projected for more points and they score more points early in the year. I think that's a big part of why Delhomme was sitting at number 1 at like 6 weeks in last year. He got off to like a 5-2 start. Then his old guys got old. So
Boards has Ridley, that's cool. London, Evans, Gabe Davis, Kittle, Goddard. Oh, look at this. Dell's got Njoku and Goddard starting in his lineup, and he's starting Charbonnet. JSN's healthy.
I'm thinking about starting Charbonnet over a lot of like Penny even.
Yeah, I can see that. Penny
I love
probably
anybody who
won't
starts
be
two
like
tight ends.
specifically getting receptions. Yeah, starting 2 tight ends is definitely an RLD staple. Somebody ought to be starting 2 tight ends at week 1 at least every week.
look, Waller
I'd like to see if
could have worked.
if either of these Packers wide receivers are. I guess if Reed maybe makes it into the lineup if it comes out that Dobbs and Watson both missed the game. Man, that would suck for the Packers.
Starting 2 tight ends. Who are the 2 tight ends that Dell is
Goddard and Njoku.
tentatively starting? I mean, that's not terrible, but he's got to have somebody else.
He's got Jamal Williams.
He
He's
should
got
be
Zay
starting
Jones.
Yeah,
He's got
he should
Curtis
be starting.
Samuel. Hey, you got Noah Gray right there. Why not start 3 tight ends?
No, I would go with Jamal
Dell. Jamal.
all day long.
Get your head out, man. No Kamara.
My strategy would be to have a deeper bench, but I should look at my own roster before they say that shit.
The Titans' run D could be nasty though. That is one wrinkle in the Jamal Williams scam. At least week 1, the Titans' D could be tough to run on. They could be tough to move on altogether. Was reading up about them. Their top pass rusher from 2021 tore his ACL like in training camp last year. He's back. They have some other upgrades on the D line. Could be surprisingly tough sledding for Jamal week 1, but I would still start him.
This
Speaking
just looking
of,
through this, it feels really close. I don't know who I would pick to win this game.
Speaking of that, who am I handcuffing? Jaleel McLaughlin or Gus Edwards?
Pretty sure Dell just changed his team. McLaughlin or Edwards? Who do you have? Do you have Javante?
Oh, I can handcuff, so I can pick up either one. I only have one slot. Who am I handcuffing? Jaleel or Gus?
I say Jaleel.
It depends. If you're looking for upside, you got to go Jaleel, because who knows what the ceiling is there. Probably nothing. Maybe he's running back 1. But with Gus, you know what you're going to get. It's going to be a floor of like 4 to 6 points and a ceiling of like 11 to 13 points.
Yeah, Gus has the better floor, and if Dobbins misses time, that's nice. But it's probably Gus. It's probably Gus. Like Javante and P. Ryan are not going to go away.
Shit. Did I say that if you were going to get blown out if you were projected to lose by 4? Here's Luke versus TP. Luke's projected to lose by 14. Oh, man.
They're putting some disrespect on me here, guys. Okay?
I feel that. I'm pissed about a few of the projections on the sleeper.
They're giving Pierce less than 11. They're giving Walker, I think, like 11. Come on now. I don't know about that. I'm not too worried about it.
Yahoo's messed up too.
Pierce does not have a great matchup. That's true, but I'm not. What were the Ravens ranked against the run last year? I'm not even sure off the top of my head. Not that it matters, but they did lose Calais Campbell.
Yeah, they did add on Roquan Smith too. I mean, the Ravens defense is legit. I hate that projection for Pierce. He's got a lot of potential to go over that. So they can say the same about, it's Mims. They don't like Mims. That's all it is.
Well, yeah, I was projected to get 100 before pulling Cup out. I'm not totally settled on it being Mims here. Don't really have a lot of great alternatives, obviously, for replacing a Cooper Cup. I probably just don't quite trust Rice. I could potentially see myself audibling to Rashid Shaheed, though. It's probably between him and Shaheed at the moment.
I think 9 feels like a floor for Seawatt if he's 100%, and same with Pitts. 8 feels like the floor for me. I mean,
they just adjusted Watson down because
hopefully Pitts gets targets. If they don't throw the ball to Pitts, well then everyone who drafted him is screwed. Specifically you in this instance, although I've got a couple shares scattered around. Hollywood. Ooh, Kenneth Walker in the second flex is awesome, though. Third, yeah. And then T-Pats. What do we know about T-Pats? He's good at fantasy football. He makes pizza. He does not grab.
He's all right. He's kind of
he made a lot of noise in the playoffs last year. He was kind of my guy. He wasn't like he just hung in there the whole time. And then he won one game, right? We were looking at it earlier.
Yeah, he cleaned Gore's clock big time in the wild card round.
We'll see how Akers does.
Yeah, TP has a lot of guys I like, but just the fact that he's a hardcore Patriots fan who has Tua Tagovailoa as his starting quarterback and went and got Dalvin Cook, something bad's going to happen to T-Pats here. I just know it.
You just take the best player available. Look at this guy. He's got Saquon Barkley as a flex.
Damn.
Well, because it's Sunday
That'll
night.
do.
You move your
Cam should probably be the flex in that spot, but yeah.
Ben, he plays late.
It's got to be closer.
It's how real players do it, Ben. Read a book, Ben.
So let's go on to the next one. It's Creep and Cheech.
I'll take care of TP. I ain't scared of him. TP, you ain't nothing.
No, I'm the same way. Even Moss is like projected to eviscerate me with his super team, and I'm still bring it on.
You're done. You're not going to win that game, but I'm going to win mine.
Please. Komet scores more than 6.3 points, then my projections are off in every single league. It's ridiculous there.
See, for a guy like Komet, 6.3 is worthless. If he scores a touchdown, he's going to beat it, and if he doesn't, he won't. Period.
I've pretty much lost this game just because of Kelsey. So
you should write him a letter. Write him a strongly worded letter.
I'm sure he is not concerned. CEH could be sneaky on your bench.
I got Pacheco going.
Send him a mean tweet, Kim says. Exactly. Send Travis Kelce a very mean tweet. Tell him that you're not going to let him have sex with your girl, your Atlanta girl. You've got girls all over, right, Creep? Tell him you were going
let's
to.
see.
And now you
There's an Atlanta one. Yeah, I got an Atlanta.
See, I read your blog. I know these things.
So Creep's got Pacheco, Najee, Lamar. Let's see, 11. I'd like to see Najee go over that number for sure.
Wait, who are we looking at?
Devonta, Creep.
Versus?
I'd say the first three are kind of even. They're like kind of even.
Devonta Smith's floor is definitely lower than 12.
Eckler's definitely the best out of the bunch.
Oh, Creep v. Cheech. Okay, so this is like a old versus old matchup. I like it.
Yeah, no love for Kincaid, but he's kind of, it's true. It's the same as Komet. If he gets a TD, he's going to be there. I mean, what's Komet, like in a good game, he maybe would get 4 for 48, 8. No.
You're going to start Hodgins, Creep? You got some faith.
I have to.
Let's visit. Let's take a look at that. Let's dig into that.
I could go. I'm thinking about
Mingo.
Yeah, I was thinking about Mingo, but we'll see. I might pop Mingo back in there last second.
Yeah, it's crazy how much of an impact Kelce makes on this roster and on drafting the team. It's nuts.
You're weak at wide receiver. You're going to be weak at something else, you know.
Yeah, and then when you start trying to counterbalance holes, things can get really weird on the snake. Kelsey's tempting, and man, if Lamar has the season that he could have, the one that people were liking to think that could happen for him, that would be Kelce and Lamar could just be a complete knockout 1-2.
Lamar could.
Peach is pretty loaded though. Allen, Eckler, Connor at your RB2 is not bad if you need a backstop. McLaurin, is he healthy?
No.
No.
Has he practiced?
He's hurt.
He's probably. He looks like he's trying to go blank. James Conner on the road against the Commanders' run D. The Commanders erased the Cowboys and the Eagles in different games last year.
It's ugly.
It's
not a good matchup.
I cannot, in good conscience, recommend anybody go anywhere near James Conner this week. That's horrifying.
Well, if you drafted him as your RB2 and you didn't go deep at running back, you're starting him. Let's see what he's got.
He
Brandon
could turn
Cooks,
15 carries into
Courtland
10
Sutton. What does he have? I think Gus
bad.
Edwards might play in this game, or Mitchell. Mitchell could be sneaky. I think Mitchell. Oof.
Yeah.
That Pitt.
Yeah, the matchup. Yeah,
the matchup. Thielen, I almost picked him up in my dynasty auction last night.
That's their WR1.
He's banged up too, though. Like the whole receiving core is banged up.
Oh man,
honestly,
I'm starting OBJ in this game. I'm rolling OBJ into this roster.
Creep, that's the reason
Sutton.
to play Mingo. Chark is probably not going to play. TMJ is banged up. Thielen's banged up. Mingo's the only healthy one.
Oh yeah, that's
good
true.
point.
Yeah, I might as well
Get
swap
Mingo in
it.
there.
I'll do that later.
If it were full
All right,
PPR, I'd say Hodgins, but it's half.
The next is Quicksilver, who has updated his team name to the no longer auto queefs. And
for the uninitiated, Quick, we yelled at Quick all season last year because we're all like 4-3, like 4-4 or 3-4, and we're just getting so disgusted that we're not winning the RLD. And this son of a bitch is sitting there at like 5-2 and then 7-2 with an auto drafted team, and then he starts laughing in our faces about it on top of it. Instead of like hanging his head in shame, he sticks his chest out and like creates an alter ego where he is, every time he beats somebody, he sends the Xerxes gif from 300 and says, "I am a merciful God," and is calling himself the auto cuck for the half of the season as he's kicking the shit out of all of us. So we still have varying degrees of bitterness about this, and he's still poking us about it by reminding us, "Oh, I'm no longer the auto queefs, by the way." So that's the story there.
We need to clip that and transcribe it and make it our mission statement, because that is the brand.
Son of a bitch, Quicksilver. If you see Quicksilver in the chat, say something unkind to him, please, and tell him.
That's versus Bach Choi. I think it's Bach's first
yes,
year,
so
right?
Bach and Creep are the new. They're not new to the RLD sphere, but they were new to the league because we only had 12 spots. So yeah, this is Bach and Creeps popping their RLD cherries this week. Fun stuff.
Yeah, so fun. Kelsey out.
7-point projected difference. That's fundamentally 0. The projections are so crappy. If it's less than 10 points, it doesn't even register as a concern for me. Although I will say it's a little depressing to go on to Sleeper and see like 10 red lines and 3 green ones and just be like, God damn.
So Bach was kind of dancing around with his team a little bit after the draft, shopping. He shopped Swift, DeAndre Swift for sure. I feel like he shopped a couple other guys, or at least one other guy. But regardless, he's not super thrilled with his team. He did not auto-draft, thank God. Going forward, we need to have some sort of policy about auto-drafting. If you auto, every pick that you auto is another $1 in the pot, or something like that. That needs to be the rule.
I don't know. There are excuses for autoing, and the one that Quick had was absolutely valid. So you can't penalize a guy in that situation.
There are absolutely valid situations where you shouldn't be made fun of, especially as long as you kick in that extra $15 for. I like how Broncos always capitalizes all caps. See what?
Fields, Chubb, Madison. You want to say anything about Madison?
Don't like.
Yeah, what's up with that? What's he gonna do? 5 points? 6, 10, 11? I mean, I have him, so I'd love to see him do good.
I don't think 11 is totally unrealistic. Tampa Bay's defense is still pretty good, right?
Under 11.
They're not. I mean, in 2021, you couldn't hardly start a running back against them unless it was friggin' Nick Chubb, and even then, they're not that unit anymore. But they kept the whole defense together. I mean, they're to whatever degree they attempt to pantomime respectability, it's going to be through like defensive attrition type games. So, or that's the theory. So, yeah,
we got AJB, we got Higgins, we got Pittman, Freiermuth, Swift, and Bateman. Pittman is another one that's kind of an interesting situation. I mean, with the draft capital, he's definitely on this roster, right? But are we excited?
Nah.
Interested?
Dude, that whole trepidation. Everything, just the JT and stuff going on, that whole thing's screwed up right now.
Hard to believe that locker room is in a good place.
Just all the wind is blown the wrong way. Like everybody's talking about Josh Downs. They're talking about I just don't see it. Like Pittman needs volume, and he needs a quarterback that is willing to throw into like some tighter windows. And maybe Richardson's willing to do that, but it's so much easier to me to see him peppering like Josh Downs to the extent that Richardson peppers anybody. We have to keep in mind this is like a bottom 5 pass volume offense in the NFL in all likelihood. There's just not going to be a lot.
Give us an over-under on AR pass attempts. What do you think, Luke?
For the season, assuming 17 games?
No. For week 1.
23.5.
Under.
Yeah,
I won't be shocked to see it be 19 or under.
I think he's gonna hit the under. Especially he hits the under if the Colts are able to hang in this game, and I think they're gonna. I think the Jags are not gonna put them away early. I think the Colts are gonna come out and play them tough, and they can knock them off. So if that happens, then it definitely happened because the Colts just ran roughshod on the ground with whoever the hell is gonna be running the ball. So
is JT? Yeah, do we know
it's
if
a home game
is
too?
Playing? Is JT completely out? Like.
He can't play for the first 4 weeks because they didn't take him off the PUP list in time, so he's on the bench for at least 4 weeks.
They put here's what happened, Creep. They put JT in a crate at the airport in Indianapolis. They put him in a big crate with holes in it for air, and they shipped him to a monastery in Tibet. So, and they kept his passport. So he's got to figure out some way to get out of Nepal without being discovered by the local authorities. So we're looking at least 4 weeks for that.
Is this the plot of a Brad Pitt movie? 7 years in Tibet? Was that what that was about?
First 4 weeks in Tibet.
Well, Pittman is a good receiver. I swear. If
Yeah.
this goes terribly and the Colts decide they need to start trying to get their hands on some first round picks, and Pittman moves to another team, he could be an absolute monster because he's a good wide receiver.
And it's a weird situation because Pittman is in a contract year and Richardson stands to hurt his numbers, but the Colts might turn around and, I mean, it's not going to look good for the Colts in 2024 to like or even in 2023 for that matter, to be trading away a receiver like you said that we know is good, when they could just, teams don't really seem to use the tag on receivers. I don't know if they would here. They probably just extend him. But
yeah, he's probably, they like him, and he's probably a good candidate for them to just pay and keep. That's a good point. But he does have a lot of value right now, and is he in the end of his contract? Is this his contract year? Is this year 4 for him? I think it is.
Year. Yep.
All right, so let's look at Quicksilver, whose new team name is kind of long. I'm just gonna call him the Auto Queefs just to keep it short.
Just call him the Queefs.
Yeah, Herbert, Mixon, Travis Etienne, Jamar Chase, Olave, EJ Moore.
Quick had one of the
Darren
nicer
Waller,
drafts.
Sky Moore, and Rashad White. So let's look at his bench. DJ, AJD, Zach Moss, Gainwell, Hull, Collins, Schultz. So how about Etienne and White are kind of interesting ones here.
Box says, "What about my bench, asshats?" Yeah, Ben, don't short.
Okay, let's see who he's got. He's got the wide receiver 2 in Minnesota, KJ Osborne, DJ Shark, who some members of the Discord think has got top 10 potential. Tank Bigsby, who's got a ton of hype, and super smart to have behind ETN, so you should trade him to.
Hold on. Gotta interrupt. Did we just say DJ Chark top 10 potential? Did I just hear that? Right?
Were you not in that conversation in the Discord?
You guys say a
I
lot
believe
of stuff
that
in
wasn't
there now.
that you and me just tearing someone apart for that take.
Clearly, I didn't
think it was
hear it because I didn't
24
tear anybody apart.
or Rish. I don't want to misascribe it. It was one of the young guys who's super high on DJ Shark, which is cool. It's good to have super dark horse deep sleepers and to talk about them out loud in public.
This is not T-ball fantasy. This is not participation trophy fantasy. This is RLD fantasy, my friend. Keep in mind. Keep in mind. We do not kiss our children before we put them to bed at night.
Well, you're talking to a guy who has a lot of Deneric Prince shares available if anyone's buying.
And why does he have
their
them?
XFL league.
What? Remind me, Ben. Why does he have them? How did he come to own them?
Because he always is worried about wide receiver at the bottom of the board.
Snake in the grass. Moving on. I
The
think
snake goes both ways.
no, it doesn't.
But
All
okay,
right.
so we're ETN. This was a good debate we were having. We were talking about some trades involving ETN this week, and whether he's a guy you can lean on or a guy you ought to be getting away from. What do you say?
As far as ETN,
Yeah.
I mean, ETN
Are
draft
you-
capital just. I mean, it's week 1. We're flying blind.
Yeah.
You know
You play him.
The Jags might run into a.
Oh,
brick
you definitely
wall.
play
They
him.
might run on Swiss cheese.
play him.
Like
You
draft
play him.
capital, you got to play him. I'm not super gassed up on
Yeah.
ETN, but the talent is there. I feel like ETN on the Jags is going to kind of be like Dalvin on the Vikings last year, where like he's still a good player, but the initiative to run the ball is just not really there for that offense. It's just not central to how they operate anymore, or at least at this time.
Yeah.
Plus, it's a bad run block
I will
line. So
That's true, but they might be looking at a lot of possessions in that game. That's all. It could be the Colts punter better, have
lot
an
of
interview
third down.
before he goes out there.
A lot of third downs.
I mean, the
Yeah,
Colts
a lot of
again.
third downs for the Colts.
The only way for them, the only logical thing for them to try to do is win the time of possession battle. If they're able to maintain some drives, I don't know. I could see that actually being, I don't even know what the over/under is, but it can't be that high. I could see it being like a 44-point game pretty easily. Not a barn burner.
Yeah, we should be looking at the over/unders when we talk about this. Let's do that next time. And then Rashad White. I was just talking to somebody about whether they should start Rashad White or Cam Akers in the start sit channel. So what do you got?
Look, let me.
White at Minnesota.
Akers standard.
Sure, it was full PBR.
Two bad
Ooh,
offensive
White.
lines, but
Mhm.
on the Rams side, it's Armageddon. Like Cup is out.
Higbee and Akers.
Higby's actually not out. It's probably gonna be a lot of Higbee.
Is this not Van Jefferson season?
Maybe I just don't buy it. Like the tackles are both banged up already. Noteboom is not all the way back from his Achilles, and Rob Havenstein picked up a neck stinger this week. So, I mean,
so you're not excited for Cam?
Oh, I'm excited for Cam. Even if he has to get there on disgusting 3.5 yard per carry efficiency, to whatever extent the Rams can hang in this game, it's going to be by running the ball. I 100% believe. So yeah, I like Akers over White there for sure because White has the exact same problem. Like his line might be worse than the Rams, which is saying something. But
in full PPR, he doesn't need very many targets to close that gap.
I don't buy it. I don't buy.
The over/under is 46.5 for the Rams and Seahawks.
That sounds.
Oh, I looked at it for this game. It's the same. It's pretty much a
Seahawks
on the
Seahawks favored by 5.5.
Wonder how much that moved with the Cup news. Must have moved a bit. I've lost my. I just don't love. I don't buy the White PPR scam narrative at all. I don't buy it anymore. Tom Brady is gone. The pass volume is going to crater in Tampa, and we don't know what that looks like. We don't. We really
don't.
don't.
One more hypothetical. Let's say Sky Moore hits 9 points. Are you excited going into week 2 about starting Sky Moore?
Absolutely.
I wouldn't. I don't know about excited. I mean, he damn well better. I mean, with Kelsey probably out.
Yeah.
This is.
Yeah.
He's the slot guy, 5 for 40. Yeah, he got to do that.
This is the well, no, this is not full PPR, Ben. It's half PPR.
He needs 5 plus receptions, 5 minimum.
He needs to show that Kelsey being out, the offense doesn't stall. So whether it's him or it's Tony, some of these guys got to step up, or it is going to be Rashee Rice season soon, and probably Justin Ross season too. Like Ross made the team, and the Chiefs, gave the incumbents, Moore and Tony, the veteran deference, and said, okay, you guys are the starters. The new guys are just going to be in special packages. But that sounds like a fucking pistol in the back to me. Like, okay, go and keep your jobs, guys. So Kelsey out. Somebody has to answer the bell here.
Mahomes loves to throw at Kelsey in the end zone too. I wonder in the red zone who's going to be the guy that he's going to be looking for down there, or if he's going to have a rushing TD or two in this game.
It'll be Tony limping in like last year, I think it was.
Please God, not that.
I think the word's out.
Could be Sky Moore just running quick little routes over the middle, or the little to the goal line and out and just body up the defender that Kelsey does. But I don't know if Sky Moore really can pull that off quite as effectively.
Too small.
Gibbs is signing out on us. Have a good night, Gibbs.
It would probably just be Noah Gray in that situation, right?
I think it's going to be Gray. Could see it being Justin Ross for sure. Big body. Or maybe we're overthinking it and it's Pacheco. That would also make a certain sense.
McKinnon. I see McKinnon doing a lot.
I don't know. McKinnon from inside the green zone, I'm not sure. But yeah, from the 15, they'll definitely find little daggers for McKinnon for TDs. They did it a bunch last year.
They're going to use him at the 25.
Yeah, that's the sweet spot. But Kelsey, if you're inside the 10, there will be a pass to Kelsey in that sequence. All right, let's look at this.
So this is one of the premier matchups of the game. Ben versus Pack. They've buried it now, but there was once upon a time ample bad blood here. Pack is prone to having
at least thrice upon a time, I think.
At least, yeah. I'm underselling it for sure. So if this isn't the premier matchup of the week, it's darn close. I desperately want to see who loses so that I can remind them of it Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday of next week for sure.
It also sucks because our teams are going head-to-head, the teams we're fans of as well. So that's going to be it's so super duper ultra spicy week 1. This is the kind of teeth kicking I'm looking for from the RLD. We all we're laughing and having fun during the draft this time around. This is the sort of emotional violence that I'm counting on from this league.
All the kumbaya stuff is about to go out the window big time, at least for you two this week. No doubt about it.
So let's see. We'll do mine first. Burrow, Bijan, Jacobs, Garrett Wilson. I don't really have any problems so far. Tyler Lockett, Deontay Johnson, Cole Kmet, Michael Thomas, QJ. The bench is Jordan Love, Kamara, Foreman, Zamir, Darnell Mooney, and Justin Ross, and Puka Nakau.
Puka Nakua.
Be a lot better when Kamara
Nakua.
comes back. When
Did you ever
Kamara
see
comes
The
back, you
Lion
have
King?
a lot.
Kamara, you like Kamara? I love that stash at the price when we drafted for sure. Who do you want to talk about, Luke? You should pick on this one.
I want you both to lose so bad.
Michael Thomas, Lockett, QJ.
Thomas, I mean, we all dumped on Thomas, deservedly so, but week 1, he's still upright. Sure, fine. It should
He'll
work.
score. He'll score. Oh yeah.
It should work. I don't know about that, but it should work. So good for you. Enjoy Michael Thomas's last, trip around the sun before he is a mummy.
4 games.
If he makes it all the way around the sun, it's going to be a good year.
Yeah. I meant my son Max, who's 4 years old. So QJ, I don't know about QJ week 1, man. I think that's a goose egg. I think that's
I'm not loving that.
that's a best ball play in a weekly lineup world.
I like Mooney over QJ, to be honest.
Love the talent.
I know.
Yeah. Ross is a little too fringy.
Yeah.
Yeah, QJ versus Mooney.
I like Mooney. I'll take Mooney.
Yeah, that's probably right. I mean, QJ, you are banking on like a big play. That's he needs to save his day with a bomb. Could happen.
Yeah.
Could happen.
I think my thought process there was just that QJ was like more of an upside play, but I see that Pack's packing the floor here with Pirine over in his bottom flex, so maybe Mooney, like 7.4. I absolutely think he's going to get enough yards and receptions to do that. Like he's good for 3 receptions, 30 or 40 yards. Maybe that's a little low. You have to hit.
We'll say that the Dolphins have
4
had a
and
lot of
30.
injuries on top of
That's a lot of
Ramsey
volume.
to their secondary, so they are vulnerable in the back end.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something to think about. And then Lockett, I know, is not super excited. JSN's back, so try and close down a little bit on Lockett.
Week 1, JSN. Nice.
I didn't like where you took him, but you got him, and now he's a rock solid wide receiver too. He is. So.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a little ugly the way that came together. No lie. Pack's got Jared Goff, Aaron Jones, James Cook, one of my favorites, CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra. The floor between these two guys is nutso. He's starting Addison, Dulcich, Dotson, Pirine, Gino, Brown, Judy, who may actually play, DPJ, and Pickens, and Downs, and Juwan Johnson. I like Downs as a stash. And I can't believe Pack isn't playing Pickens. He's like the biggest Pickens stan on the earth, as far as I know.
Yeah, he might correct that.
Yeah.
Have to. Well, no, Dotson is nice this week, and he's sticking by Pirine even as things are getting awful dicey there.
Yeah, it's such a weird,
Ben, I'm
weird
rooting for you
backfield.
here.
What about Addison, though?
Yeah, I might go Pickens over Addison. The Tampa secondary is really not bad. Like they kept the whole band together on that side of the ball.
Also, are you just assuming that the Vikings are full blown BSing us with their depth chart? I don't think Addison's going to get the snap share you're looking for in this game.
No,
I'll let him earn it in over 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, Addison's the guy, but week 1, yeah, I don't know. I
know that's a tough one. Week 1 is tough.
Week 1, it is a black box. Like things are going to happen that we could not have anticipated. Why seek one out here when you have George Pickens on the bench? I don't like that play.
His wide receivers are very good. I'm going to need my running backs and quarterback are definitely my strength in this matchup. So I need Burrow to come through.
So
I like the 18 would be nice floor. I'd like to see higher. Get over 20, Burrow. You can do it.
We are definitely
3 touchdowns for Bijan. Let's go.
We have a real fetish in this group for wide receivers. Not uncommon in fantasy football. But so yes, Pack's receivers are amazing. I've said it for a couple weeks now. If you really look at his team, Pack's team, we're talking about it with a lot of respect for a team that sure looks like it punted 3 out of 4 positions. Like he's got Dulcich at tight end. That's fine. It's not world beating. It's fine. Goff, Geno, fine. It's a nice value scam for sure. Aaron Jones, James Cook, and P. Ryan. Like, he doesn't have any... James Cook, yes, he could hit his ceiling for sure. But other than that, like, he doesn't have, he's going to be outgunned at running back more as often as he isn't in 2023 in all likelihood. Unless, like, James Cook and Jones just go nutso. So...
Yeah. This is legit horrifying lineup in full PPR.
Exactly. Like, in full PPR, we should be much more afraid of him. This is half.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Especially with Lamb AJB as just like the volume wide receiver combo down here. You're looking at, nearly 300 targets between the two of them.
Yeah, potentially. Very close, if not.
They both need to have good games. If he's going to win, they both need to score a lot.
That's the case for him. That's going to be the case for him a lot. And like Geno and Goff, that's going to be a tough call every week. And like this week, I don't really love either matchup. Like Goff going to Arrowhead, which is going to be a madhouse. That seems like a recipe for a couple interceptions to me. And then Goff versus
it's going to be very, very loud.
I don't know. Like, I might roll Geno there, but that could also wind up easily being the wrong call. So, yeah, I think he went without studs at every other position, possibly to his detriment. He's got so much talent at receiver; it's going to be tough to get it all in the lineup, week in and week out. Like he's going to be sitting Addison, Dotson, or Pickens a lot. That's wasteful.
Addison, Dotson, or Pickens. That's true. I don't know. He does have some good trade bait here too, though. So I mean, especially if Judy comes back and plays well and is healthy.
And he's been sniffing around for sure. He seems to have realized, oops, I went one too far.
I'm gonna really think about Mooney versus QJ. I mean, this is like my only QJ share, so I like to.
Yeah.
If he's gonna hit, I kind of want to like cash in on it, but that's kind of idiotic way to approach this league because you'll get your throat ripped out and then everyone will take turns pooping into your neck. So let's do a lock of the week, Luke. Pick a winner here.
Lock of the week.
Probably me. I'd probably lose. I'm the loser.
So Creep is going to pick against himself.
Yeah. Pipe.
So he picks Cheecham to start 1-0.
Dude, without
I might agree with you if not for the fact that you're going against Cheecham, who's got his own issues. So I think you've got a chance.
Do we tear his team up sufficiently? Allen, Eckler, Connor, McLaurin, Mike Williams won't be healthy for the whole season. Sutton.
Andrews is iffy. Whatever's going on with him, they're not talking about it. Andrews is kind of weird to me. They've got Isaiah Likely. Andrews might not play a normal snap.
Sutton, Mike Williams.
I know you didn't just say Isaiah Likely. It's because Andrews is hurt, right?
I'm not saying like he's not going to play, but if he were to have...
Maybe he'll block. He'll block and Likely will run routes.
A 50-60% snap share of what he would normally have would not super surprise me. We don't know what's going on. Again, this is risky to be,
That would help Flowers, though, wouldn't it, for targets? Wouldn't Flowers be in that range? Wouldn't he...
What are we talking about?
If Andrews isn't running as many routes because he's a decoy, or he's not getting as many targets, does that help? Which wide receiver does that help? Flowers?
All of them. It's got to help pretty much all of them.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think any of us know. I don't think the Ravens know. It helps somebody. Yeah, it lets some like high value targets in the red zone potentially back into the offense, if it even happens. But I mean, the Ravens' pass game is a mystery, in large part. Like they have a lot of new guys. Bateman's not new, but he was gone for so much last year. Might as well be new. OBJ, Flowers, and a new OC. It's we don't know. So. As far as my guaranteed winner in week 1, I can't say it's TP. That's too painful to admit defeat. I'm gonna say it's the auto cuck. Damn it! His team is too good. His team is just too damn good. I'm gonna say it's the auto cuck. Bad guys. The rich get richer.
All right, good stuff.
Sorry, Bach.
Should we leave it there? Is there anything else to talk about?
Ben,
I'm good.
Who are you taking here? You're not getting out of this.
1,000% guarantee. Lock it up.
Shameless
You suck.
self-promotion. I can't believe I didn't think of it myself.
I won't pick myself again this whole season, but Pac knows what he can do
unlikely.
with it.
All right, boys. Well, thanks for getting together and talking some RLD goodness. What are you laughing about?
I'm looking at the chat.
Oh,
so.
right. What the oh. Dell swoops in the 11th hour. West Coaster. Typical.
I would like to see Bach win too. I'll go with that one. That would be a fun upset.
I don't want Bach to lose. I just know that in this life you can't have nice things. The auto cuck is going to be good again. What can you do?
Is it a double auto cuck or no?
No, he drafted this year.
He did draft.
Okay.
He did at least draft his team this year, and it may be even better than the one he auto drafted last year.
Boards is gonna call Bach for his pick.
Ever the contrarian, that Boards. Jeez, that guy. No, Bach's team is not bad. He's flying blind week one. That was the one that kind of stuck out to me as being a little bit seesaw. I should be picking against myself, really. I mean, if we call a spade here, but I refuse. I refuse to do it. I won't do it. You're gonna die, TP.
Well, I would have picked you, Luke, if it hadn't been the week that I'm playing Pack, and the Bears are playing the Packers to open the season.
You would have picked me to lose. Thank you.
I would have picked you to win, but I can't do it this week because.
Wow.
This is the whole season as far as it goes. As far as I'm concerned, there's nothing.
You can go 1-13 as long as you beat Pack here. It's fine. Yep. Alrighty, boys.
You guys can have a stage if you want.
What's that?
Nothing. Sorry, I'll talk to him in chat.
Yeah. This is not advice hour. Sorry. Well, that's we should get back together Friday or early next week and take some Q&As for sure. But we're gonna wrap it up here for tonight. Thank you, boys, for hopping on and shooting the breeze with us, shooting the shit. And if you're out there in internet land, keep your eyes peeled for the next time we get the RLD band together. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for hopping on.